It's a hairy hippo.
Good morning, or afternoon, or evening, depends on where you're from. I have no idea. Welcome to me driving insanely badly. I don't know how this is going to plan out, to be fair. I figured, because this is kind of what I do for a living. I'm totally reversing on the wrong one. What a great start. I mean, I don't do the driving part of things, but I do transportation. I figured I'd give this a bash just to see what it's like. See if I can live up to the trucker hype, and I'm going to fail dismally already. Oh, that wasn't too bad, to be fair. I thought I'd do a lot worse than that. So let's wiggle around here a little bit. Let's give it a little bit of a wiggle. Oh my god. There we go. There we go. Let's do that. Using my mirrors, people. Using my mirrors. You can't see me use my mirrors, but that's okay. It's okay. As soon as we get this on. Oh. Wow. Okay, attach the trailer. Raising. There we go. We're good? Okay. Let's go. We have a trailer in tow. Let's go to Manchester. So the reason for this kind of situation is called Truck Chat. And I just felt like it would be quite a cool little situation to be able to talk to you guys about things I may be passionate about while having a little drive around, and hopefully the police doesn't mind too. You are not wearing uniform. You're not wearing uniform. What on earth? What on earth is going on here? Goodness gracious me. It must be an off-duty officer. But it's just to have a chat about certain things. Not bad things per se. There may be a couple of bad things down the line, but at the moment it's just a case of kind of voicing a little bit of concern about something I'm interested in, and just discussing it with you, really. I find it's a great way to just clear your mind a little bit and just have a chat while badly focusing at the game and then the conversation I'm at. So today's topic, I don't know if you guys would be interested in, is Star Trek. We were talking about it a little bit on stream the other day. Anybody who's interested, links are in this discussion chat box area. See, this whole chatting while driving thing is not going to work well. But the links will be in the descriptions below anyway. Anything you need to find of me, they'll be there. But yeah, we were talking about Star Trek. I'm a huge Star Trek boy. I love Star Trek, so much so that we did an unboxing of all my little like collectible starships that I've got and stuff like that, which worked quite well actually. I quite enjoyed it. It's a 30 zone, but apparently 35 is okay now. Okay. No, there we go. It's gun red again. There we go. By the way, you're gonna see me wobble like a mother in this game because I'm terrible. I should really delete my expletives, but I don't know if I will. If I have, yay me. If I haven't, oops. But there's a new show coming up, which is called Picard, Star Trek Picard, which I'm very, very interested in because Next Generation is where it's at for me. Well, I say that Voyager's actually where it's at for me, but Star Trek is Next Generation is where it started for me. I've watched like the original series of Star Trek with Kirk and all that jibber jabber, but it just seemed a bit too far-fetched. I think it was more if I was there at the time, I probably would have thoroughly enjoyed it. Now it's just more like a natural respect and kind of acknowledgement to that series. But Next Gen is where it's at for me because the premise changed, the style of it all changed, and all that kind of stuff, you know. So that's where it's at. And Picard was probably one of the greatest captains ever. I mean, it was portrayed that in the show, being that he was in the flagship ship. He was in the flagship ship of the Federation. So, seeing that he's coming out of a new series that's based upon him after Star Trek Nemesis, the film, is very exciting because I enjoyed the Star Trek Nemesis film, albeit it was a bit annoying on some occasions, mainly down like they had a dune buggy kind of thing going on. I was like, well, where the hell did they get a dune buggy from? They've never shown a dune buggy in any of the series, so why do they have a dune buggy now? Why do they need to have a car chase in Star Trek? It was a bit weird. But seeing the Romulans and the Remans and all that kind of stuff, and Tom Hardy playing Picard in the younger years, which was very good. It was a good film, alright? There hasn't been really a bad Star Trek Next Gen film. First Contact will always be the best. But Nemesis was alright. But it was just, the way it ended was like tearful. I'm not going to do many spoilers on this, so I apologize profusely if I do spoil a little bit for you, but it's not my intention, I promise. It's not my intention. How's my fuel? My fuel seems to be okay. I think, yeah, I've got half a tank. We're going to get most of the way, so that's fine. I'm so speeding right now. Oops. But new Picard series is coming out. And it's got cast members from Next Gen in it. It's got cast members from Star Trek Voyager with 7 of 9, who was, such a bae. But I'm a little worried. Now, when this was first announced, Picard announced it. I'm just calling it Picard. Why the fuck am I calling it Picard? But we'll just say it. Picard announced it at like a convention thing. And it looked amazing. And he was saying how he's helping to kind of orchestrate it all, and he wants to keep it how like the Next Gen was. Its ethos and its moralities and its filming styles and all that kind of stuff, which is amazing because the latest Star Trek adaptation, STD Discovery, is such a farce and ridiculous. I am not counting it as canon. It may have been brilliant for some people, which I completely get, because the light show that it offers when they're doing their, like, you know, the space conflicts and stuff like that is incredible. It really is. It's fascinating what they've been able to do with technology nowadays. But, I mean, at the same time, they've, like, completely reimagined Klingons, and they're putting some kind of agenda which is not like how the agendas used to be. Now, Star Trek has always been about equality, and I completely get that. It's probably why I'm so okay with the whole equality matters situation and all that kind of stuff. I am firmly behind anybody who wants to be themselves can be themselves. That's absolutely fine. However, it's now kind of, from my perspective, the STD thing is pushing it to the perspective of, yes, we can be whatever we want, but we are number one. And that's not how equality works. We are number one doesn't work for one certain set of people, whether aliens or what. That's not how it works. We are all equal, which means we are all number one. So, and it's not portraying that. It's portraying superiority, and I don't like that. That's not what Star Trek is for me. It may be for yourself, but it's not for me. So my worry is that Star Trek Picard will fall down this route. Is one of the main worries. One of my other worries I've got with this at the moment is the whole shooty bang bang shiny thing going on. There was always the whole mentality that it was talk first, think first, and then act afterwards. You know, you don't automatically try and kill every person around. There wasn't a huge amount of conflict, you know, like physical conflict and stuff like that. It was just a case of try and resolve it diplomatically. That's what it's on about. They're on about exploration, peaceful missions, and all that kind of stuff. If it needed to come to combat, it would come to combat, but it wasn't initially combat. And the trailer, I get why it's doing it. It's trying to hype up the show for people who maybe have been let down by STD. I really hate saying STD. Who thought of Discovery being an adequate title? Star Trek Discovery, STD. Who thought that up? Ridiculous. Sorry. It just shows how, like, bad that is. I'm hoping Picard stays behind the whole morality and offset that it was originally, you know. I'm really hoping it does that. I want it to be glorious. I want it to be diplomacy first. I want it to pique interest. I want it to have unique storylines and you know, progression through its series. I kind of want it to take on the whole continuous story throughout the series instead of a lot of one-offs. That's basically how Next Generation was for the most part. There was like an underlying plot in the background, but it was mainly episode by episode. It was a unique thing that you could watch at any time, and you wouldn't be at a cost of having to watch the entire season to figure out what's going on. Whereas you look at like Deep Space Nine, Voyager, even Enterprise, and specifically SED, it's all about you need to have watched the first episode of the first season to figure out what's going on with the storyline, and then specifically of that scene in particular. So DS9 had the Dominion War. You knew that happened. There was rumors about it in the first season. There was confirmations of it in the second season, but didn't really have its impact until like the third season. Voyager had like a main driven story. They had to get home. You know, that was the main story. But each season was segmented to part of the quadrant they're in, and the stories behind that and the episodes in between were to reflect that part of the quadrant that they were in, which was great. You know, you had the Kazon, you had the Borg, you had the Malon, all that kind of stuff, and it was a season basically based upon that area and their influences towards that, with some filler episodes in between. And I don't mind that. That's nice. That keeps me intrigued. That gives me binge-worthy material. I like that. I like that. And I'm really hoping Picard does that. But the problem with Picard's, like I was saying, is with the trailer, is it's showing there's some shooty bang bangs. There's a lot of mystery going on. Picard is very old, which I knew he was going to be really old anyway. I mean, it's Patrick Stewart. He's so old. But he's still incredible. I still am a firm believer that he bathes in the blood of the innocents to stay as young looking as he does in comparison to his age. I mean, he's looking a little bit frail now, but you look at all his X-Men films, and my God, that man didn't age whatsoever. And you look how long and how much of a time difference there is between the first X-Men and the latest X-Men film, where he's been a part of. It's insane. It's insane. He hasn't aged. It's crazy. But yes, that's my main concerns with Picard, right? Is I want it to make sure that it's going to be absolutely, as he says, you know, reflectant upon how Next Generation was. Because we need stuff like that. We need that kind of wholesome, makes you feel warm and fuzzy inside, inspires you to be a better person kind of episode, without the judgmental stuff that, like, Discovery's throwing in right now. That's what I'm longing for. I am speeding all the way, by the way. I'm speeding all the way. And I like the fact that, like, they haven't really shown many Starship bits in there, because that's going to lead to an area of surprise, I think. I hope they're going to be as smooth and as rounded off and as just yummy as the previous canon series of ships. The STD ship just looks like it's being put together in 90-degree angles or varying angles. It's very rigid. Ooh, pardon me. Very rigid. There's no smoothness off it. There's no curvature to them. It's just like the case. I know there's a big curvature of like circular part of the ship, but it's still, you look at like the nacelles on the back of it. It's a triangle with a couple of lines on it. You know, I could have drawn that in paint. Maybe not with the texture pack, but yeah, there was. You look at like the Enterprise as it was just it was stunning. DS9 with its unique kind of aesthetics to it. I know it was Cardassian, but that was still amazing. It was still amazing. You hadn't really seen anything like that. You base it on stuff like Star Wars or Babylon 5. Babylon 5 had some amazing looking ships, to be fair. So it was a bad pun. But I mean, like Star Wars-esque, they're very rigid, except from like the Millennium Falcon, which is there to actually stand out. The X-Wings, TIE Fighters, the Y-Wings, all that kind of stuff. They're all very like blocky kind of shapes. There was no like fluid beautifulness. Wow, what the fuck? And don't get me wrong, I love Star Wars. I do. I love Star Wars. So I'm not dissing Star Wars. I'm just saying that there's a completely different contrast in type of ship style, which I love. Oh, thank you. I'm going to take full advantage of that while following this French vehicle. I assume it's a French vehicle. My God, what's going on here? We're trying to get on the road here, but they're not letting us out. Come on, chaps and chapettes. Let's go. So I'm kind of hoping that they throw out some... Because okay, so the thing with Picard is, if it's basing it upon, like, what is it, 20, 30 years into the future from Insurrection, we've seen those ships in various series. Like, Voyager has shown ships from the future. Come on, people. It's clear. Alright, you're going to make me cut over you, aren't you? Alright, I saw that vehicle. We're coming through. These guys are being douches, so there we go. I don't know what you're doing, Batiste. You're not meant to park there. It's access. Muppet. Okay. Angry driver. But we've seen the futuristic ships in Voyager. We've seen them in DS9. We've seen them in Next Generation. We know what they should look like. So, they have no excuses, really. None at all. They need to make sure they keep it as that. If they're going to keep it in that, like, that path of canon, because I know STD is kind of in the canon of the films. The latest films, you know, the J.J. Abrams editions of Star Trek, the original series and stuff like that. Which I was a little bit annoyed about, because you look at all those actors except from Kirk, they've all been in predominantly TV series. So they could have done a TV series, and that's kind of how I was hoping. I was hoping they'd do the film, and then they would have done like a TV show afterwards to reboot it completely. That would have been really nice to do, but they didn't. They just kept making films, which is fine. It's fine. But I'm sure Zachary Quinto would have been absolutely fine to play Spock in a TV show. I mean, he came from Heroes. Look at it. He was a Heroes boy. I loved Heroes. I don't know what I'm on about now. I've lost it. But Picard, I'm really hopeful for. I really am. It has to do well, otherwise I'm ruined. I need a new Star Trek series that's going to make me feel wholesome and wonderful. Because Enterprise with Scott Bakula, and I love Scott Bakula, he's one of my favourite actors, ever since Quantum Leap. He's just a fantastic actor. He really is. I didn't enjoy Enterprise when it first came out. I didn't. It wasn't my cup of tea at all. I found it annoying. I didn't understand what the Xindi stuff was. I've never seen these bubble, like, what are they? They look like Orbeez. They look like Orbeez stuck to their flesh. It was ridiculous. And I was like, I don't understand this. What is going on here right now? But after like a couple of attempts of trying to watch it, I really enjoyed it. I really did enjoy it. It was fantastic. And the ending to the entire series was just, it was brilliant. It was I loved it. I mean, it was cut short. They were hoping to show the Romulan War and all that kind of stuff, but because it was so disliked, and obviously I was one of those who initially disliked it, they cut it short, which is a shame. Which is a shame now. Hindsight, people. Hindsight. Don't hate on things until you've watched it a couple of times and realise you actually quite like it. But I've tried rewatching STD and I can't do it. I can't do it. It just irritates me so much. This Michael Burnham character is just irritating. I kind of like where they're trying to go with it, but it's not doing it for me. It's really not doing it for me, and I don't know. Maybe I'm just old. 33 going on 84 now, you know, that's how I feel. I just really hope Picard does well. It needs to do well. Star Trek needs more life into it. Don't get me wrong, right? When they have their conventions, they're always sold out. You know, wherever you go, they're always sold out. They're still going strong, but it's more becoming a nostalgia thing than a current hype thing. You know, and it doesn't need to be a nostalgia thing. It can be a current hype thing. The amount of people I've spoken to, 4 people. Just off the top of my head, 4 people who have never seen Star Trek, and then after my recommendation of trying out like Voyager or Next Generation, have gone, well, it's pretty good. I like it. It's alright. I like it. And I'm like, yeah, it is alright. You wait till you see the films in Next Generation. Wait till you see First Contact. You're gonna be like, oh my god, you know. It is a fantastic set of series that they have, you know. Even Star Trek original series, which I don't kind of get on with that well because it is dated in my opinion, but I have the appreciation of, if you're gonna give it a go, give it a go. There are stories in that series that are still amazing, like the guy who is coloured half black, half white, and you're like, well, and then it's showing how equality matters and you should be fighting the different sides of yourself and all this kind of stuff. It's brilliant. It really is. There are some amazing stories in there. There really is. And I hope the Picard series does that. I hope that what they've shown us in the trailer is the overall story arc that they're going to be portraying, but there will be a lot of filler episodes and wholesome episodes and getting back down to earth with, you know, not literally speaking, but with the whole morality side of things, you know. Oh god, this is, oh my god, oh don't crash, oh we're good, we're good, we're good. Damn, that was a tight corner. Whoever built this road were not in mind of bloody trucks. But I want them to do it like they used to do it. I am so hopeful. I can't, and I don't think I'm the only one here. I don't think I'm the only one here. There's a couple of people I've talked in chat about. Oh, hello. Did I just get fined? Oh no, loan installment. Okay, that's fine. It's just a loan installment. Dude, I need to, yeah, thank you. I'm just jumping into this lane, okay? Don't you crash into my truck behind me. It's okay. I'm talking to the NPCs. But that's my thoughts on it anyway. I mean, what's your thoughts on it, guys? I mean, do you guys... I apologise if you've watched all the way through this and still don't actually have any interest in Star Trek, so I apologise profusely on that. But if you do like Star Trek, what's your thoughts and takes on the whole situation with Picard? Are you excited about it? Are you worried about what's going to be happening? Because so much could go wrong, and for those of us who are absolutely, truly passionate as hell about Star Trek, we need this. We need good, is what we need. I need to feel good about Star Trek again without having to go back to the older stuff, which are... I mean, when did Voyager end? Voyager ended in what, 2002, 2003? Enterprise finished 2006, maybe? 2005, 2006? It might have even been earlier than that. I don't know. It's been a long time. It's been over a decade since we've had anything proper decent. Need it. I need it. I need to feel good again about it. It was such a... Like, when I'm really down in the dumps and upset and, you know, emotionally strained and depressed. I hate using the word depressed. I really do. It's not as if it's like a taboo word or anything. I don't like to call myself depressed, even though I am some other times. I switch on Star Trek. I switch on a bit of Voyager. I watch Janeway do her stuff. You know, that makes me feel great again. It really does. It puts me up because it gives me hope that things will be better in the future. Because the way they live is how I would aspire to be, you know, non-judgmental of others, unless it's taking the mickey out of someone, you know, having a bit of fun. But that's only because we're poking jest at each other. But generally just, you know, respecting one another, positive exploration and mindset on things, and hope. Hope is always a fantastic thing to have. It truly is a fantastic thing to have. And I don't think STD do it. Come on, get yourself on. There we go. There we go. I'm in a hurry. Let's skip this. There we go. Take it. Thank you very much. Hey, we did right. We didn't even crash. Look at that. We didn't even crash. But we made it from Cardiff to Manchester, people, which is the key thing. Yay, us. Yay, there was much rejoicing. But thank you very much for being here. I'm going to call it a day there. Hopefully my little dribble-drabble discussion while driving thing worked out right. If you did like it, please thumbs up this. It would be absolutely amazing for you to thumbs up this. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It doesn't cost you anything. It helps me out massively. And smack that bell. Smack that bell. Tickle the bell. Love the bell. And I will be back with another episode at some point. Try to upload every Sunday and Tuesday, which is kind of working out alright at the moment, which is brilliant. I'm on Twitch on Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays and Saturdays in the evenings on the UK side. So feel free to pop in. Like I said, links are in the description below. Anything you need is in the description below. Feel free to click them, help us out, it'd be amazing. Until then, have a wonderful whatever's left of your day, and I will see you very soon.